My wife Sarah had been acting strange for weeks. Cold, dismissive, constantly picking fights over nothing. One evening, after another pointless argument, she threw her hands up and snapped. "You know what I slept with your boss, Mark, so you can't touch me. Maybe now you'll understand what a real man looks like." Her voice was sharp, proud, almost triumphant, as if she expected me to explode or break down. Instead, I just stared at her, letting the words sink in. Something inside me clicked. Not pain, not anger, something colder. She wanted to hurt me. She thought she had power. She thought she just ended the game. I slowly smiled and said, "Perfect." That one word wiped the smugness off her face. She didn't know what it meant. She didn't know that this time she had chosen the wrong battlefield. She folded her arms, waiting for me to shout, to beg, to question her. But I simply nodded, walked past her, and went to bed. My calmness unsettled her more than any fight could have. I heard her pacing, whispering angrily to herself, wondering why I wasn't reacting. That was the moment she lost control. All night, I planned exactly what I would do at work the next morning. Because unlike her, I didn't play with feelings. I dealt with consequences and cheating with my boss. That wasn't just betrayal. It was professional misconduct, power imbalance, ethical violations, and a major HR violation. They didn't just cheat. They created a legal disaster. At 6 a.m., I woke up, showered, dressed calmly, and left without a word. She watched me from the doorway, nervously, biting her lip. She knew something was wrong. She just didn't know how bad. At the office, everything was painfully normal. People laughing, keyboards clicking, coffee brewing. But I walked straight past my desk and into HR. "I need to file a report," I said evenly. The HR manager looked up, surprised. "Is everything okay?" I placed my phone on her desk. "No. My wife informed me she is in an active relationship with my direct supervisor, Mark." Her face froze. HR policies were strict. Supervisors were forbidden from relationships with employees' family members to avoid favoritism, blackmail, and interference. "Do you have details?" she asked. I nodded. Dates, messages, times, and her confession. I repeated Sarah's exact words. "I slept with your boss, so you can't touch me." HR's expression shifted from shock to immediate seriousness. "This is a major violation. We need to act fast." And just like that, the dominoes started falling. Later that morning, the office atmosphere changed. HR called both Mark and Sarah in for critical review meetings. I sat at my desk, silent, focused, pretending to work while watching everything unfold. Mark walked in confident as always until he saw HR waiting. Sarah, who worked in a nearby department, looked pale, confused, and terrified. They didn't know I had said anything. They didn't know HR had evidence. They didn't know they were about to face their consequences. After 20 minutes, Sarah was escorted out, shaking, eyes red, breathing fast. Mark walked out next, face strained, jaw tight, realizing his position, reputation, and marriage were suddenly on the line. HR approached me afterward. "Thank you for reporting this. You did the right thing. We'll update you soon." I nodded quietly. My revenge wasn't loud. It was silent, calculated, and perfectly timed. At lunchtime, HR summoned me again, this time to inform me of the outcomes. We conducted an investigation. The manager said, "Mark has been placed on immediate unpaid suspension pending further review. His conduct violates 3 major sections of the company policy." She paused. "Steady, your wife's position is also terminated, effective immediately." She provided inconsistent statements and admitted to the relationship. I felt nothing, no joy, no sadness, just closure. "We will also review whether Mark attempted to influence your position," she added. I knew he had subtle pressures, denied promotions, unexplained workload spikes. Everything suddenly made sense. I thanked HR and returned to my desk. My phone buzzed. It was Sarah. "We need to talk." "What did you do?" I ignored it. She had chosen her side the moment she weaponized her betrayal. By the time I got home, Sarah was waiting at the door, eyes swollen, mascara smeared, breathing like she had run a marathon. How could you? She cried. You ruined everything. He's suspended. I got fired. I walked past her calmly. No, I said softly. You ruined everything. I just reported the truth. She grabbed my arm. It was just a mistake. I didn't mean for this to happen. Her desperation was loud, chaotic, uncontrolled. Completely opposite of her cocky confession the night before. You said I can't touch you, I reminded her. So I didn't. She dropped to her knees, sobbing harder. The power she bragged about was gone. The man she risked everything for wasn't answering her calls. Her fantasy collapsed the moment reality arrived. She wanted consequences. Now she had them. Sarah tried negotiating, begging, blaming, crying, promising therapy, apologizing, claiming she didn't know what she was thinking. But her apologies were for being caught, not for the betrayal itself. I sat across from her, watching her unravel. You thought sleeping with my boss gave you power, I said calmly. But power built on lies collapses the moment truth is spoken. She clenched her fists. He told me he'd leave his wife, she whispered. I almost laughed. He told that to 4 women at the office. HR shared the statements. Her eyes widened. She wasn't special. She wasn't chosen. She was just another reckless decision in his collection of bad choices. She gambled her marriage, job, and dignity and lost every bet. I stood up, walked to the bedroom, and started packing. As I zipped my bag, Sarah threw her arms around me. Please don't go. We can fix this. I pulled her hands away gently. There's nothing to fix. You burned the bridge. I just walked off it. She collapsed on the floor, broken, shaking, realizing her affair didn't just cost her our marriage. It also cost her entire life as she knew it. Meanwhile, Mark was facing a full investigation, guaranteed demotion, potential termination, and a destroyed reputation. To people who thought they were untouchable were now drowning in the consequences they created. As I walked out the door, Sarah screamed my name. But I didn't look back. She wanted to play with fire. She wanted to feel powerful. She wanted to hurt me. And now she finally understood. When betrayal meets truth, truth always wins. Quietly.